now anybody who is protesting, he's trying to call street terrorist.
Oh yes, I know. Like there's so much the enemies within. There's
Yeah.
like uh I've heard something about terrorism, yes. And but like who's the real terrorists here? To me it seems like it's ICE. They're dressed
Well,
up like
yeah.
ISIS running
So
around.
ICE and federalizing the National Guard for me are,
Yeah.
these pushes. They're trying to create insurrection.
Yeah. Oh
They
yes.
so that they can then call on the Insurrection Act as
Yep.
their reason for
Yes. Yes.
building up
Yes.
boots
Yep.
on the ground.
Yep.
Welcome to another episode of the Bloomburg Democrat. I'm Sally Taylor. This is my inquisitive younger brother, John Daniels. And what's going on, John? The
Gotta be
United
inquisitive.
States is in a world of hurt right
Yep.
now. We've got, as predicted, National Guard now in Illinois, along with
Hmm.
ICE doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Hmm.
And then, of course, the threat still of National Guard going into Oregon
Yep.
and Portland. So, John,
Hmm.
what have you been seeing? What have you been reading? What do you
I've been
know
reading
about
about
what's going on?
I've been reading a lot about Chicago, actually. And I find that the local Chicago news sources tend to really have like the juicy details. Like if you're going to read about this, try to find those local Chicago sources because they're talking to the people who were directly affected, people who were involved with some of these helicopter from the roof breaking all the windows, even like the outside windows, like they were swooping in or something from the outside. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Zip tying naked
they,
children and putting them out in the street and detaining
yep,
them.
yep.
Yeah.
Pools of
Crazy stuff.
blood under bottles and like what are these people doing? It's insane. They
Yeah.
have absolutely no morals as far as I can tell. Like
Yeah.
you can't
I'm with
treat
you.
people like this just because they live somewhere or
Well,
that
and the thing is they took over
they're
this
told they're not
entire
allowed to live.
building. Right.
Yeah.
It is illegal for them to detain American citizens out of their beds
Yeah.
just because they're looking for somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, that's illegal.
Yeah.
And yet we don't seem to be able to stop it.
Well, but we're going to start seeing a lot of lawsuits, I think. They're already starting to be filed. And I think
Yeah,
they're just going to keep coming. And
the legal system turns slowly is
it
my
very,
biggest
very much does.
concern.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it just takes a long time for the perpetrators, and in this case, I'm going to say ICE and the Trump administration, to
Yeah.
feel the repercussions of what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
And
And if the taxpayers are paying, footing the bill, then they're not really feeling it anyway, right?
right, right,
This
they really
is
don't.
this is kind of how
We've
I
had
feel
this discussion
about the police who get sued and stuff. Like they're still in their job and the city's
a lot of
paying
times.
out of taxes.
Yeah.
So like the lawsuits don't do so much other than just kind of help the people who were abused.
But see, and I'm looking at the police is being stuck in the middle of all of this mess,
Well, certainly in
right?
Chicago, it does seem like they are because they're being shot with pepper bullets and tear gas
Right,
and stuff, along with the fire department, apparently.
right.
And so, yes, in this case, for sure, the police are definitely right, just kind of stuck in the middle, right? Stuck between a
Yeah,
rock and a hard spot. And I think it was mostly true in LA as well, when LA had to
yeah,
kind of
I agree.
run the gauntlet
Yeah.
of fire. And
And the fact is that the police have to live in these communities, right? And so they
yeah,
do,
well, but
I
that
would say
doesn't stop them from abusing their regular citizens
it doesn't, but
under other
their
circumstances. So,
allegiances do get called into question, right?
yeah,
When these
yeah,
things occur, they either have
yes,
to choose to be on the
yeah.
side of
You got to
the
be the
federal
local abuser
forces,
or the
right?
foreign abuser.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So
It does make a difference.
it does. And in my mind, everything that is occurring, this moving federal forces into these blue cities
Yeah.
with lower crime rates than a lot of other places,
Yeah.
even lower numbers of uh, people who are in the country without documentation,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
they're further north, and as a general rule, most of those undocumented people still are more heavily populated to the south.
Yeah.
So they're moving into these places with the claims that they're
Cities are burning to
going
the
in
ground,
to
or
protect federal forces, that yes, that it's a
yeah.
war-torn city and
Yeah.
everything's burning, which are completely false
Yes.
premises.
Yes.
But they're doing it in order to create an insurrection. They're
Yeah.
wanting to create a violent response so
Yeah.
that then they can justify even firmer, more, you know, response, more
Yeah.
boots on the ground. So, and we've got the No King's Day coming up on the 18th of
Mm-hmm.
October.
Mm-hmm.
I plan to participate in that. I do.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And I have deep concerns about the rhetoric that's being placed around even peaceful protest at this point.
Oh
We
yeah.
were talking earlier about Stephen Miller and the rhetoric that he's using around even peaceful protesters.
Yeah.
Basically, one of his statements recently has been that they're street what was the word I used, John?
Terrorists.
Street
Street
terrorist. Yeah,
terrorists. Yeah.
yes. Uh that is just fomenting problems
Oh yes.
before they even happen.
Yep. 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 They seem to be trying to stoke the fires, right?
Yeah.
Um, I read very recently, I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, but I read very recently that in Chicago there was an ICE vehicle that was, I don't know, driving, and then it was being followed, and
Mhm.
then there was I don't know exactly what happened. I wasn't there. I haven't seen any videos or anything, so I'm just going to call it a traffic accident. And the ICE car was apparently being rammed into or something. I don't know. They said that there was
I've
an
read about
automatic
this.
weapon, but then there wasn't an automatic weapon.
Mhm.
They've said a lot of things that have seemed to not turn out to be true. But
Yes.
what I most recently read was that the attorney for the defendant, the lady who was driving the
Was
car,
shot.
who was
Who was
shot,
shot.
yes, who
Mhm.
was shot, before she was shot, the person who shot her yelled, "Do something, bitch,"
Yeah.
and then shot her.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Yes.
they're
And
trying to egg on confrontation, clearly.
they
At
are
least that individual
clearly.
is.
Yeah.
And then using that as justification to potentially murder.
Right.
So
Yes,
just
I
just not a good
absolutely agree.
situation.
So, and they tried to say from the beginning that she had an automatic weapon. She had no such thing, right?
Right.
It just
Right.
wasn't even there at all.
Right.
He wore a body cam, and the body cam is not holding up their end of the story.
Yeah. I'm
And
sure it's not.
basically, he shot a woman who was impeding their progress, basically.
Oh, okay. Impeding
Um,
progress.
Yes, they were,
Wow.
they had maybe 10 vehicles that were slowing them down on the street.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know because I haven't seen the footage myself. Of course,
Mm.
they said she rammed into him. I'm
Yeah.
being told that the footage shows that no, the ICE vehicle rammed into her,
Yeah, I'm not
and
surprised
it
by
kind
that.
of went from bad to worse at that point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what a mess.
Yeah.
And of course, we knew this was coming. We've been talking about it for weeks and weeks. And
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah.
I really had hoped Pritzker would be successful at keeping the National Guard
Yeah.
from becoming involved.
Or were they
And yet it
pulling the
doesn't
National
seem
Guard
like
from
it.
other states and stuff, right?
Right. They came from Texas. The National
Yeah.
Guard that's there is
And
coming
they
from
were
Texas.
planning on bringing them from California or something, but I guess I don't know, that didn't work
Yeah.
out for whatever
Well, with
reason.
California, when Oregon was able to stop the Oregon National Guard from being federalized,
Hmm.
the Trump administration then immediately tried to federalize California National Guard to
Right, the
send,
ones in the
and so they
Southern California.
prevented right. So they prevented California National Guard then from going into Oregon as well. In
Mm.
fact, again, this may be hearsay, but I'm going to share it. I heard from one source that Trump's lawyer actually told the judge, please, prevent any state's National Guard from coming in because it's just like playing whack-a-mole. They're
Yeah.
going to keep trying to send some other state's National Guard.
Right, right,
So
right.
prevent it from happening from any other state.
Yeah.
And his own lawyer is advising the judge on what to do to prevent the Trump administration from just coming at it from another direction.
Well, that would be great. At least there are some people
Yeah,
of conscience.
one would hope. But
Yeah.
he gets rid of anybody that does have conscience for
Yes,
the
yes, he
same reason
does.
that he got rid of the attorney who he wanted to prosecute Comey,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
That guy said, I have no evidence, I can't do it. So he
Yeah.
fired him and
Yeah.
found a woman with no experience in any kind of federal prosecution
Yeah.
that would do it for him,
Yeah, I was willing to
who was willing to file the paperwork.
do
She has
whatever.
no clue what she's doing. And it looks
Mm.
like the Comey situation is just going to end before it even starts
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
she
I think it's
is
probably gonna.
probably not even legally in that appointment at this stage.
Mm.
And the reason they were in a rush to do it was because they had to do it by September 30th, or the what do you call it when you run out of time?
Statute of
The
limitations.
statute of limitations ran out on September 30th. And so it looks like they can easily prove that she doesn't even have authority
Yeah.
to be doing it because of the way the law is written around temporary attorneys in that position.
Sure.
And so it will probably all go away before it even really
Well, it
starts.
doesn't surprise me that the Trump team did not sufficiently study
Right.
whatever given topic.
Right. And since we're talking
Uh,
about judges,
yeah.
of
Oh,
course,
yes.
you're aware of the judge in
North
South
Carolina.
Carolina
South Carolina.
South
Okay.
Carolina, whose house exploded
Well,
and burnt to
maybe
the ground.
exploded. I did read another article that said maybe the explosion didn't happen, but it definitely went up in flames quickly
Well, it
and
definitely went up in flames.
it engulfed the whole building.
All the early reporting said there was an explosion.
Yes, yes, that's
It
true.
definitely burned slap to the ground for sure.
Yeah,
I
just some
mean,
columns
there is
standing or something
nothing
left.
left of that
Yeah.
house. Yes,
And apparently
I have
there's a
been.
swamp in the backyard that people had to get kayaks to save people from.
Yes,
This
so
is a
it
very
looks like
interesting house.
this house is sitting on some kind of sandbar or something,
Yeah.
and a very little land that it was sitting on.
Mm,
And so her husband and son, and supposedly was the third person, but they never said who that was. I'm thinking maybe a
right.
housekeeper or somebody. But the husband and the son jumped out the back, second or third story. Apparently
Mm,
broke their legs coming down,
mm,
but survived.
yeah.
And so they were hospitalized, and a third person apparently was also hospitalized, but they haven't said who that was.
Mm.
Um, so I have hesitated to say that this was a political retribution type of incident, but man, it
Yes.
sure looks like it. Uh,
Wasn't she also a Trump appointed judge, I think?
she may have been. I know the one who
I think
prevented
so.
the stuff in Oregon is a Trump appointed judge.
Yeah.
But she ruled against, I'm gonna have to look it up. I'll
Yeah,
post what her ruling was.
I read the article and I know what you're talking
Yes,
about,
but
but I don't
she
remember
has
it either.
basically taken on the ire of the Trump administration based off
Yes.
of one of her rulings.
Yes.
And so then, and I believe it
Well,
was Stephen Miller, I will double check.
I remember there was something about sexual abuse by Catholic cardinals was one of her like big cases that she prosecuted. And then there was another one that was I think it was a large organization. Ah, my memory is not what
We'll
it used
put
to be, I tell you.
we'll put her information and kind of what's been going on with her
Yeah.
on the screen. But
Okay.
the the thing I was going to say is that it reeks of political retribution.
Oh, yes, it
I
certainly
do
does.
not know for sure if that has been confirmed yet,
Right.
but man, it's suspicious.
Yeah, like a couple weeks before, there was some tweets or something calling for hellfire to rain down on
Right, right.
judges
And
like her,
I
right?
think Stephen Miller was probably part of that.
Yes, I probably.
I think he
I
was.
don't recall, but I think you're right.
So anyway,
Yeah.
it's just a disaster. I mean, things are definitely going from bad to worse. We're
And what I
falling into fascism so
find,
fast.
yes, what I find to be extremely interesting is though is that even people that perhaps feel like they have the support of Trump because they were appointed by him or some other type
Right.
of situation, they do not,
No,
apparently.
no, no, no.
He
Just
has
because
absolutely
he
no loyalty to anyone.
No, none
Yeah,
at all. But I really don't think Trump's in charge of anything anymore, John. I'm going
yeah,
to be dead honest with you. I don't think he is pulling any of these strings other than trying to repeat what he has been told.
yeah,
Um, I really think that it is the Stephen Millers and the Project 2025 folks that are running the system now.
yeah.
Every time Trump
I
has spoken
wonder.
publicly lately, he
Hmm,
has sounded insane and
yes,
delusional. His
yes,
dementia is on full display.
yeah, that's true.
And I don't think he's
I
in charge of anything.
I wonder if this happens perhaps on both sides though, because Biden is kind of
I,
was in a similar situation. I don't think he
yeah,
was
the
pulling any of the
whataboutism is
strings
not
either.
lost on me. But the fact
Yeah.
is that
No, no, no,
Biden is
no.
not president right
No,
now.
that's true. And I'm not trying to what about at all. But I'm just thinking back even further. How many more
Ronald Reagan.
presidents before that were there in similar situations? Like maybe
Oh,
this is just kind of how it goes. We got to stop electing old geezers to be
yeah.
president, right?
Ronald Reagan was clearly suffering from Alzheimer's before he
Yeah.
left office, and his
Yeah.
wife took over. I mean, it was quiet and hush hush,
Well,
but it
that's nice.
absolutely happened.
That's
And yes, I'm
that's better than
almost
it
to
could
the
have
point
been.
where I'm ready to call for some kind of mental acuity testing
I think we need to
of our
have,
political
just
leaders.
like we have a minimum age, which is 35, to be president, we need to have a maximum age. Like if you're
I
older than
agree.
this, you can't be president. You got to be in this prime sort of,
Right.
but
Functioning
experienced.
range where you're less likely to be suffering from
Right.
mental decline. I
Yes.
don't care about physical decline.
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
If you're being pushed around in a wheelchair, fine, as
Yeah.
long as your brain is sharp and
Yeah.
you can make good, clear decisions.
And you're making decisions for yourself and not other people who were never elected making those decisions for everyone.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're making decisions for the country, for the good
Right.
of the country,
Right.
and
Well,
not
that's my
for
point. Is
because I
that
will say Trump does
we have
make
the
decisions for
president,
himself.
we have the
Right.
president though is making the decisions and not your
Right. The
Goebbels or your
president is
Millers.
making those decisions. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think people are paying close enough attention to Stephen Miller. I
Yeah.
really don't. I think this
Well, he's a
current
very forgettable
situation.
person.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, I
I
mean, you
think I
look
had
at him and you
nightmares
want to
about
forget
him
him.
last
You
night.
want to forget him as soon as you see him. It's like, God, I wish I
You
could
want to
forget this
forget
guy.
him. Yeah. uh,
Yeah,
okay, so things are bad. We know that they're bad. We
yes,
admit that they're bad.
they're bad.
Is there, let's look at it from a slightly
So,
more
so,
positive
so what we
viewpoint.
have to do, when
Yeah.
times are bad, we got to reflect and we got to learn from our mistakes, right? And
Yes.
so, and we can't just look at only the mistakes we're making right now because we're probably not going to really correct the behavior. We need to look back a little bit more. Like which good presidents have we had and which bad presidents have we had? Really? I mean, Obama, not bad. He was pretty
He
good.
wasn't bad. He was pretty
Yeah.
good. He
He
wasn't
started
highly
off,
effectual, but he did his
no,
best.
yes, he started off really well, and then he just kind of started like kowtowing to corporations and
It's a
didn't
rough
do so
system.
much. Yeah, didn't
Yeah.
do so
Yeah.
much in the end. So I had a lot of hope for Obama, and it was hope and change, right? And
Yeah.
it turned into a lot of hope, not so much change.
Yeah, he
But
did give us the
he was not so
Affordable
bad.
Care Act,
He did.
and
He
that
did.
was to some benefit. And
Yes,
and
it
now
was.
we've got a government shutdown. Oh my gosh, we haven't talked about everything. A government
Yeah.
shutdown that is based strictly on saving people's insurance.
Well, and also
Um,
punishing Democrats.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So
So,
now Trump is, well, I say Trump, the Trump
yeah.
administration, because I do not believe it's Trump. The Trump
Yeah.
administration is now threatening not to pay people who are
Yes.
currently furloughed.
Yeah. A lot of those people are Republicans. Probably
Yeah.
even
Well,
probably
I
even
don't know how
MAGA,
many.
maggots. What do you call MAGA-ites,
Maggots.
MAGAers?
Maggots.
I think it's maggots. Probably a lot of maggots in there too.
Well, there will be some, whether or
Yeah.
not it's half or not, I don't know. John, my husband John was saying that the majority of federal employees tend to be Democrat, like they're
Yeah, I
predominant.
think that's probably true. Yeah. They tend to care
Um,
about other people and want to help out.
they're serving, right? They're
Yeah.
in service
Yeah.
positions. Uh,
Even though sometimes it's just the DMV and those people are not
oh
serving
my
much.
gosh. Depends on where you are.
Yes, I
I've,
guess
I've
so.
lived in small towns where it was great, and I've lived in
Yeah.
bigger towns where it was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they have a hard job.
Yes, I do.
So,
Yeah.
that said, there's
A lot of
so
characters out
much
there.
going on and so much
Yes.
blame being thrown around and so much just I don't even know where to go. I'm sitting here thinking about Pam Bondi sitting in
Oh
front
my
of the
God.
Senate committee and how absolutely insane that was. I'm thinking about Trump basically acting like he doesn't even know who Ghislaine Maxwell is when he was asked if he would give her
Pardon.
pardon.
Yeah.
And he's like, who? I haven't heard her name in so long.
Yeah. Oh,
One.
very
I need
selective
some more.
tweeting or like uses
I
earplugs when he
need
watches TV, Fox News
here's
especially. Like, I don't know.
here's the
Why?
perspective I need for you. You're talking about what to do when
Ooh.
these people are out of office.
Yeah.
I need to know, what do we do right now while they're still in office?
We should do the
How
same
does
thing.
America
Lock them up.
survive this?
We just gotta grow some balls and lock them up. These people are insane and they're breaking the law left and right.
Yeah.
And how do we just let it go? Like any federal agent, I would assume, would have the authority to just go and start arresting people. Just do it,
Do they?
wouldn't they?
I don't know. At this
Who
point,
who
it's
arrests the
hard to know.
president?
Who
Was the
does arrest the
president
president?
who arrested Nixon?
No, Rick Nixon resigned. He was
He
never
didn't have to go
arrested.
to court or nothing. He like the
No,
no.
his party had backbone. His party
Yeah.
was moral enough at the time to say, you did
Take
something
him.
bad and you need to resign.
Yeah.
And he did.
Hmm.
We're not living in that world anymore.
No, we're not. So who arrests the president when the president murders somebody in Times Square?
Well, exactly. And he's murdered 17 Venezuelans.
Yeah.
If we're going to
Yep.
give him responsibility for being the commander in chief, he's
Yep.
murdered 17 Venezuelans. What are we doing about it?
Yep.
So the world is looking at
I
us
wish I could
like
do it. I
we're,
wish I could
we're
just go. Well, I'm gonna go our pilot and the citizens arrest, I guess.
But the
Like,
problem is you
who's
won't be
gonna?
able to get in the door to do
Yeah,
it.
no,
I
I
mean,
wouldn't. I
the
wouldn't.
Secret
So
Service
somebody,
would
so maybe the
knock you
Secret
down.
Service it's their job, maybe. Is that what they got to do? Who's the one who? I guess the FBI, maybe, right? So
It would
basically, as I said, any federal
Well, it would have to be Pam
agent,
Bondi. It would have to be Pam Bondi. It would have
she's
to
not
be the
gonna do
head
it.
of the Department of Justice. No, of course she's not going to do it. Of course,
Yeah, she's
because
she's
but
committed to lying the very
that
to
is
the very
why
last lie for
yes, and
Donald
that's
Trump.
why our system is completely broken because the Department of Justice is always supposed to be completely separate from the
Yeah.
executive branch.
Well,
They are
it most
not
certainly should be,
supposed
and it clearly is
and
not.
clearly is not.
Yeah,
He made sure he only had loyalists this time around.
yeah, yeah.
And because there are
Which is also
only
why he's going after
loyalists, there
Michael
is
Bolton
no
now.
one. Of course.
Yeah,
Of course. Yeah.
Like Michael
because
Bolton was not a
they were
great
not.
guy.
No, it
Like,
wasn't.
take
But
him.
he also was not a
I don't
loyalist.
mind, but it's a shame that he was on their side. And as I said, he has no loyalty at all to anyone. He has
No,
people who are loyal to him, but that
and
is
that's
not a
it.
two-way street.
No, because I think
Not a two-way
Pam
street.
Bondi might be in trouble now, because of the way she's handling the Epstein file situation.
Yeah,
But she is still being as loyal as she can manage to be,
that's the only
and
thing she can do.
obstructionist as she can be.
She's in too
And
deep.
oh my gosh. So you haven't given me any hope, John.
No, there's no hope, Sally. If you want hope, leave the United States. Come to places where people are sane and we don't shoot each other and we don't steal from each other. Just leave the United States. Leave the world of hate. Leave the world of danger as normal and come live in a part of the world where life is actually peaceful and good.
Yeah, it's very tempting. I wish I
Well,
didn't have so much keeping me here.
it is not as much as you think.
One more week into the Trump
Yeah,
administration, and
yeah.
I do think public opinion is really quickly turning. I really believe
It
that it
does seem to
is.
be. Yeah, people are turning
I'm
around a
I'm
little bit.
interested to see what the protests look like on the 18th. I know that they're
Yeah,
trying to instill fear in people so that they don't participate.
yeah.
Um, I will say, if you are interested in participating, I believe it's the ACLU, and I will put that information on the screen,
Mm,
is giving a little thing about how to prepare and to know your
mhm.
rights when
Yeah,
you are doing peaceful protesting.
yeah,
And
that's
I
good.
highly recommend that you take a look at that if you're going to be attending this. Um,
Yep,
just be prepared and be peaceful, no
yep,
violence,
yep.
exert your First Amendment rights,
Right.
and maybe the tide will continue to turn.
Curse if you want to, because that's protected.
I do.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
All
Thank you
right.
again.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Next time.
If you enjoyed this content, please hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications.